Okay, back for round 4. Hopefully we can pull out a win. And this hand's fine. It has double Dredgevine, so it has the potential to be explosive. But we are leaning on this Faithless Looting once again, but at least we have all our colors. So, definitely keeping this. I believe we're on the draw. Oh no, we are on the play. So, turn 1, let's go for a looting. And we hit 2 lands. That's a little awkward. Yeah, sometimes this happens, I guess. Then again, we are playing a 22 land deck. Now, my concern is whether or not to discard both these Dredgevines, to discard one. Because, you know, with this hand, there's a chance we'll maybe just hard cast these Dredgevines on turn 4. We do get a flashback to Faceless Lootings on turn 3, though, so I think we discard them and kind of hope to get there. I guess we could keep them, and then when we flashback the looting, if we miss, then we can, or if we hit something that'll let us play them back on turn 4, then we do it. It might have been better to keep one or something. Ugh, wonder what our opponent is playing. Hopefully we'll find out sometime soon. Opponent really tanking on their turn 1 play. Oh, good old tank turn 1 Vala could go. Another land. Ugh, not drawing what we want here. This Ghost Quarter might be good if they're playing some sort of Scape Shift deck. It could just be the red-green, like Valakut through the Breach deck. Maybe they're not like the, you know, blue, red, green Scape Shift list. Drawing more lands. It's funny. You know, this deck usually has mana issues, not flooding issues. Okay, that is good. That's 2 zombies, so we get both these Dredgevines back next turn. I'll just get rid of an Overgrown and a Forest, I guess. We don't really need, like, we already have our second green, we don't need our third one. Having more black is usually the most important thing. Still haven't had any Dredgers, though. But, you know, 2 Dredgevines by itself might be good enough. So they are playing Rug, Scape Shift. Trying to think what we want to do here. I don't think we can play an Angler this turn. I think we see if this resolves, or whether or not it gets countered by something. Maybe remanded. That's what I would assume. There we go. It gets remanded. That doesn't actually break up anything. I think I'm actually just going to play it again. Scape Shift, your life total doesn't really matter unless you're going to be going above. If you go to 19 or above, they need 8 lands. Then if you go above like 36, then it's harder for them. They need like 9 or 10 lands. So Knot of the Bone is a potential strategy, just Knot our Bone out of range of losing to Scape Shift. But game 1, that's a little unlikely, because we probably would only get a flashback at once. But games 2 and 3, it's actually a good thing to side in. But, you know, turn 4, 2 Dredgevines, they're at 12. They haven't really done too much ramping either. They have a Search for Tomorrow, so they can be up to 5 lands this turn. But that's on the first, actually no, never mind. It's on 1 now. So next turn, they get it. If possible, keeping Scapeshift off with triple blue would be nice, because Cryptic Command is one way they could try and buy themselves extra turns, is just chaining Cryptic Commands, tapping our team down. So we might use this Ghost Quarter just to like get rid of an island. Usually Scapeshifts play like 3 islands, so if we Ghost Quarter one away, they might be able to search for another. Depends how many basics they get. Or, you know, if they play like a Steam Vent or something like that, then Ghost Quartering away puts more strain on their basics. Also, just keeping it in play makes it harder for them to Scapeshift, because they need to keep an extra like mountain in their deck for Ghost Quarter. But Ghost Quarter in general is not like really good against Scapeshift. It's fine. So they're gonna loot. So they must need lands or something. That's what I would say. I would put them on them needing lands, because I don't think they played a land last turn actually, because they've used the Tri-Builder to get a land, and they're on their turn 4, so they should have 4 natural basics, or 4 natural land drops plus the 1 Tri-Builder. So yeah, I think they did miss a land. Discarding Halimar Depths and Izzet Charm. Pyroclasm. I could discard both my creatures to this troll, so that it's a 4/3. So then I'll have... Is that exact? Yeah, I guess that's Xaxes lethal, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's definitely a good plan. So yeah, they are just dead on board then. I actually didn't even think... I didn't pay attention yet that they were going to just die next turn to this Lala troll, but... There we go. Looks like they got stuck on lands. That's good game 1. Nice, a lot of pressure there. Those would have been not too bad draws either. Okay, so post-board against Scapeshift. We're going to take out all our removal, because against the Temur version of Scapeshift, if that's what you want to call it, they don't really have any creatures other than their Tri-Builders and Snapcaster Mages. None of the bones are good, and then Dresses are going to be good. I need to take out one more card. Timrad might be a good one. Dark Blast is another potential cut. Although I'm not opposed to having this Dark Blast, because sometimes you want to clear the way of their Snapcaster or their Tri-Builder. I think Murder King might be a bit slow. I feel like this matchup's kind of a race. You know, long game, we're just trying to hope they don't find the Scapeshift or find the lands. We just want to put a pressure on, and then, you know, maybe be able to gain enough life with Knot of the Bone. I guess that's a potential way we can win the matchup, is just, like, Scapeshift, in theory, if they have, like, 10 lands in play and they go Scapeshift, they can get 8 mountains, 2 Valakuts, and then they can do 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 3 is 30, 48. So 48 damage, but that's like 10 lands, that's a lot. So, like, you know, if we can gain a lot of life, we can just, like, make it so their Scapeshift will never be lethal. So they would have deciding creatures to kill us. I think I'll take out Dark Blast as our last cut. Yeah, let's do that. Didn't get to really play against any of the Tier 1 decks I was really hoping for this event either. Can't find a black-green land. Or, sorry, yeah, we can't find like a red-green land. But we don't need it. We don't have any red cards in our hand right now. Thing is, this hand's super slow. We just play a troll on turn 2, we don't do anything with it. I guess we could try and Ghost Quarter them out with Life from the Loam Ghost Quarter. I don't know about that plan either. Maybe we can. Thing is, they do play a lot of basics. They're like the one deck that has like 7 basic lands for a 3-color deck. At least 7, maybe 8. I don't think we want to do that. I think we have to mulligan this hand. Ugh, this hand is also terrible. We're gonna mulligan again. I don't get what's with us getting mana flooded. I would say this is definitely uh, the lesser side of the spectrum when it comes to lands. Usually you're getting mana screwed. If anything, you're trying to find your third or your second land, like that happened on 1 or 2 games. I'm gonna duress here. I'd rather like Faith of Sling be able to dig more cards. So Into the Royal is a charm and Scape Shift. I could take an Is a Charm. That probably disrupts their like play the most. They could Is a Charm or looting, so I think we want to get rid of an Is a Charm. The Scape Shift we can deal with later. Yeah, Into the Royal I don't even think that it's that good against us. I guess they can Into the Royal, like bounce our Dredgevine, but don't think it's like doing anything super amazing. But you know, we didn't like talking back to like playing against tier 1 decks. We didn't play against Jund. We didn't play against Affinity. Didn't play against Burn or like Twin. I don't think those matchups are especially bad, but it's just like, you know, when I'm doing a video, I want to, you know, showcase how it is against that metagame. Huh. I think we're discarding 2 lands here, because Scape Shift is, in a sense, a critical mass deck, because you do need to hit 7 lands and a Scape Shift, or 8 lands and a Scape Shift. And if I actually do want to cast these Rotting Rats to make them discard a card, because it will, like, reduce them on resources. Also, good to note that, you know, right now we're going to try and stay above 18 life if possible. You know, I'll probably fetch for a Swamp here, so that they're going to need to have 8 lands to kill us. There's a Ghost Quarter. We could play an Angler here, but they do have an Into the Royal that we know about, so I almost want to just looting and just keep on going for that. I think I want a looting here. Once again, not the best discard. I'm just gonna get rid of the lands here. Now this troll is like good, so if we top deck a Dredger, we can use it. The plan next turn might be like Rotting Rats and Angler. Maybe if I play the Rotting Rats first, they might discard their Into the Royal. So we know their hand is an Into the Royal and Escape Shift. I believe the other cards were lands they already played. Where is it? Escape Shift, Island, Mountain, Stomping Ground. Oh, so they have a Mountain in hand. So we actually know 3 of the cards in their hand. Okay. Also good to note, if we Ghost Quarter their Valakut, it does make it harder for them also. But 8 lands can still deal 21 damage. Maybe I should have kept this Ghost Quarter for the Valakut. I'm going to play a Rat here. I'll discard the Gravecrawler to it. So what are they going to discard? Like I said, I hope they discard Into the Royal, so that this Angler can come down. They discard Mountain. That makes me feel like the other card in their hand is a land. So I think we still have to just play this Angler at this point in time. They'll Into the Royal, but they don't even get to draw a card right now. Unless they untap and do it, but then they have to like use their whole turn to Into the Royal the Angler. They could have a Remand. Okay, they didn't. But you know, even this hand, like this is an example of like this deck isn't all in on this dredging thing, and if you don't get there, you just don't do anything. Like this hand, we never found a Dredger, but we're still playing the game. You know, we have an Angler in play, which is not a bad threat. That we've just been able to play it because of like our lands and our Faithless Looting. You know, Lala Troll is also not a creature to laugh at. Okay, so they're just passing it back. So they have 2 Valakuts. Man, the Ghost Quarters would have actually been good then. But it's hard to know they would have drawn double Valakut. Usually, if they don't have exactly double Valakut, it's not as good. Yeah, I guess we just go to attack. Pretty sure we're going to see the Into the Royal here. Yep. Kicked into the Royal. So only dealing 1. We'll just pass here. So we're at 19, so 7 lands and Escape Shift will not kill us. It would only deal 18 damage. So we know 1 card Escape Shift. They discarded their Mountain, so the only card we do know is Escape Shift now. Anger the Gods, that's a good one against us. I think I want to save this Troll though, so I think I'm gonna discard these 2. This Angler's not gonna get played anytime soon, especially since these are all getting exiled. Wait a second. That deals 3, so this doesn't even protect the Troll. I was thinking I was going to be able to grow it out of Anger range. Okay. Guess not. Yeah, these get exiled then. Anger's a good card against us. It's a card that's not actually used too much anymore. Escape Shift obviously can because it has a ton of mana. So the difference between that and Pyroclasm isn't huge for them. But like a lot of Collected Company and Elves decks have fallen in favor, so cards like Anger especially Collected Company was the reason why you'd want to play Anger, because those things had Kitchen Finks and Voice of Resurgence. There's a Vengevine. Can't even hardcast it though. This game has not really gone our way. Our Faithless Loon didn't really find us anything. They had some good answers to our stuff. I believe we're dead here if they just Escape Shift. But hopefully game 3 we can do a bit better. It's kind of rough not finding any dredges or not finding any like Vengevine plays we could do in the top like 15 cards of our deck. But it's gonna happen sometimes. So let's just make sure they don't have like mount. I guess they only have 1 mountain, and they could potentially only have 1 mountain in their hand anyways. But I'll just make sure they have all the lands for conceding. Yeah, okay, they have it. Yeah. Look at all those triggers. Look at all the Courser too. All that life. Okay, so we're gonna go to game 3 here. Also good to note that even if we kept the Ghost Quarter and Ghost Quarter their Valakut, it wouldn't have made a difference. With 1 Valakut and 7 mountains, they can do 21 damage, so that would have still killed us. So, I think we're just going to run it back. I think this list is fine. I actually like having this more now for Anger the Gods, because if they Anger the Gods and we have Timuret in our graveyard, we can activate a second ability, sacrifice a creature, return it to our hand, and by sacrificing one of our creatures, it could protect it from getting exiled. So that's one cool thing about Timuret. Or if it's on the play, you could potentially exile or sacrifice multiple things if you have the mana. I guess, I don't know, we could have, like, off the duress initially, we could have, instead of getting rid of Is a Charm, we could have just duressed the Escape Shift. But you don't know how games are going to go. This hand. I don't think we can mulligan it. Once again, we don't have a Dredger, but we have this Troll, we have a Rats, Gnaw the Bone. Oh, this hand's actually really close. Because this hand, like, it looks good. It's 3 lands, 4 spells. The thing is, we can't really cast this Angler anytime soon. Like, it has lands and spells, which is a good combination, but they kind of don't do what we want to do. They don't combo. I think we have to keep, though. I think it's a little too ambitious to mulligan this hand, because it's just such a perfect mix. Like, mulliganing to 6 and 5 can be so disastrous. I think, like, I shouldn't say disastrous, because I think you have to mulligan aggressively with this deck. I think probably one of the most skill intensive aspects of this deck is the mulligan processing, because it's what am I trying to say? It shapes how the rest of the game is going to go. And you can say that with any deck, but because this deck is so reliant on things like dredging, that like the first few plays, making sure that you can get a dredger or that you can get an aggressive clock on is very important. I'm trying to think next turn. Next turn we might just go like, we play a land, that's 3, 4, 5, discard this as 6. If we draw a creature off the top, we might just try and play an Angler and put a clock on them. There's a Tri-Builder, but Troll has Trample, so not going to matter too much. We drew a Murder King, which is a creature, but I kind of don't want to exile it. So we play this, we have 3 lands in play, 1 card, 2 cards in our graveyard, 3, 4. Also, I wouldn't mind just playing these rat. Maybe the plan is just to play the rat. Make them discard a card. Like I said, keeping them off the critical mass is not irrelevant. I'm definitely going to attack. Probably discard Murder King. No block. Interesting. So I'm going to discard Murder King for sure. Now the question is, do we discard this rat and just play an Angler? I think at this point, the answer is going to be yes, we just want to be aggressive. However, this does also mean that our troll could die to an Anger the Gods. I think I'm going to wait a turn. I think I'm just going to play the rats, yeah. I'll play rats and discard a land. These Nod of the Bones also are not good if we're not hitting our dredgers. Maybe we discard Nod then. But do we really need this 4th land? What would we need the 4th land for? If we hit a Dredgevine, I suppose? I'll just get rid of Gnaw, because I don't think it's doing that much right now. Just gonna sack that. Get an island, most likely. Another reason why I didn't want to go in on this Angler is that if they do have another Into the Royal or something, then we're in a really bad spot. Also, like, tapping out left us vulnerable to multiple things. Left us vulnerable to an Into the Royal. It let them potentially Anger the Gods, kill our troll. Lands you control are every basic land type. Interesting. So they're a Prismatic Omens Scapeshift list. I have not seen... I mean, I've personally played Scapeshift a lot myself in the past. I have not seen... Well, I've seen 1 or 2 lists play Omens, but haven't found it to be that effective. But, we'll see. It does let them go off with 1 less land, actually. So, like, 6 lands... You can go off with 6 lands and deal 18 damage. Actually, I guess it could do it more, because you can get double Valakut and 4 mountains, and it counts as 6. Huh. So it does let them go off sooner. Kind kind of interesting. I'm gonna get a Blood Crypt, because we already have our second green source, and for Murder King purposes it might be relevant to have multiple red sources. There's a Cliffs. That doesn't really do anything for us. Now, if they just have Landscape Shift, I think we're just dead. That's unfortunate. So, assuming they don't have that, the best line of play is probably to play this Angler. I'll get rid of Gnaw. It's kind of funny that Valakut actually, this Misty now actually dealt damage because these are all mountains. And this deals 2 more damage to us. They're going to the face. I feel like we're dead then, if they're just going to the face. Yeah, they have Scape Shift. Like, Primeval Titan. Really? This is a different list than I thought of. This is definitely a out there kind of Scape Shift list. I've never seen a list that has like all 3 colors, Primeval Titan, and Omens. But yeah, I guess it gets us. Something different, something we weren't prepared for. You know, the reason we play this deck is because it kind of is out of left field and hope the metagame isn't prepared for it. I guess their deck is also kind of doing the same. Oh my god, these draws. We're not going to get much better. Okay then, so that's that, you know. Ended up 2-2 in this daily, which is a bit unfortunate. We started off 2-0, and then we lost to Merfolk, and then lost the Scape Shift list. I don't know. I'm still trying to. I'm still processing the Scape Shift list here, but you know, like the last against Merfolk, they just had a quick clock, and they were just an aggressive deck, and I guess they didn't even have counters, but they were just an aggressive deck, and we stumbled a little, and we got punished. And then against this deck, neither games we really, or I guess game 2 and 3, we didn't get our combo going at all. So, yeah, I guess neither games, none of the 3 games we started dredging. But game 1, even though we weren't dredging, we put a Vengevine into play, we put a quick clock on them. But, you know, these games 2 and 3, we kind of didn't connect, like, we weren't able to find a dredger, and then we never really got a quick enough clock on them. Our draws just weren't the best. But this is one weakness of the deck, though. I will, like, you know, sometimes your draws don't come together, and I'll admit that this deck does have an issue of sometimes it just doesn't come together. You don't get the Dredger, you don't get the Enabler, and then your deck kind of looks a little underwhelming. Sometimes you can get draws where you don't need the Dredger, like game 1 where we went Troll, discarding Vengevine, and then just played their Vengevine, and that was fine. But Yeah, like I guess this match, these last two games would be a good example of the downside of the deck where you don't get these good draws. Like, well, round 1 and 2 we kind of had these explosive starts. Um, I feel like we kind of got a bit unlucky this last match, especially, but I still think this deck is pretty sweet. It has a lot of potential in the metagame, especially since there wasn't much graveyard hate. We saw none of these decks had graveyard hate against us. So like that's one good thing, is that if like when people aren't playing graveyard hate, this deck is strong. I mean, this deck, like especially, we couldn't really. I mean, we had Duresses, we didn't draw them. I guess we did draw one last game, but Duresses wouldn't have been too strong against the Primeval Titan here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video with this deck. Unfortunately, it kind of putted out at the end there. Wish I could show you guys some more of the explosive draws this deck could have, because I think this deck actually is fairly good against the metagame, the expected metagame. Like I was saying earlier, Mono Red, Affinity, Twin decks, Grixis, Jund, they're all like okay matchups. I would say Burn and Affinity are like the harder ones, but that's why we have cyber cards like Not of the Bones and Ancient Grudges for them. But I was talking to the Legion, the guy who actually won the Modern Festival with this list, and he said before the Modern Festival, he had like a 71 win percentage on Magic Online with it, which is actually really good for Magic Online, because Magic Online is fairly competitive. So, the Legion, knows how to pilot this deck better than I do. I'm still learning, I would say. Maybe, I don't know if he could have done anything different these matches, but I think that if you take the time and effort to play this deck, you can get good results. Like, he went overall 11-2 in the Modern Festival and won it, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, I should stop rambling on. That's going to be it for this video series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the first time I've done like a sort of deck tech plus like playing some matches. Hopefully we'll do it in the future, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.